Like, why are you so passionate about like the branding aspect, I guess, of photography?
Good question. Because there's a lot of different kinds of photographers. There's wedding photographers. There's people that photograph newborns. These are all categories that I'm not interested in. And
So don't contact her for that part.
I have amazing referrals that can do that though.
Yeah.
But what I love is really the branding, because I'm a nerd when it comes to anything you're doing with your marketing. So if you're doing, let's just say, like a lead funnel, and you're developing a campaign where you're trying to get people onto your email list and then eventually potentially buy your program, you're going to need a lot of photos. You're not going to need just one. So for me, I really am attracted to the concept of, okay, well, let's talk about what you're going to wear. Let's talk about who your ideal client is.
What
and
is your brand?
Exactly.
Like, who are you? How do you want
exactly.
to showcase this?
Right.
Same
Because
thing with video. You know?
it's exactly the same, and so I know that when you're doing that work, it's exactly the same process. It's understanding, well, who do they want to reach? Because
right?
anyone can look good with the right lighting and with the right angles, but if you look good but you're not hitting that nail on the head, then you're really speaking to no one. You're speaking to not your ideal customer.
So I study posing a lot, and I have a photo mentor, and she is very into posing because every single body shape is different, and what you're trying to portray. Some people want to portray strength, and some people want to portray vulnerability. So a lot of it is a conversation ahead of time with the client to say, well, what is it that you are looking to attract? And it's not necessarily about them. It's really about, let's think about the kind of clients or audiences that you want to attract. And so when it comes to body language, again, I was taking photos with Shay just in the hallway, and at the end I said, okay, let's do some armed cross ones. And I realized that not everyone can cross their arms. So that was something I learned really early on in photography, because some people have short arms and some people have really big breasts. And
It's true.
As a photographer, I have to like look at boobs and butts and be like, all right, let's put this here and this there. So I think if I would ever give a tip to anyone, if you want something to look smaller, just move it away from the camera. So a lot of women have this region they're not really psyched about, so you just shift it to the back and you put your face forward. And so when it comes to body language, we were doing an arm cross, and she has great arms and she's proportionate, so she can cross her arms. But I said to her specifically, you either need to give me a whimsical look or a big smile, because you can't arm cross and not put an expression with it. And I see that all the time. I see there's a lot of people that are in the real estate industry that get their photos taken, and they're the ones that present their photos. I see this all the time. They'll be standing up and they'll have a photo and they're like, hand on the hip, and they're like, or they'll have their arms crossed and they'll be like, and it just doesn't match. Like, if you're gonna put your hand on your hip, you have to be like, I'm in the middle of something. Or if your arms are gonna be crossed, it has to be coupled with a smile, because people just do things because they see other people do them, and it doesn't work. Like, if you're just putting your hand, and first of all, never put your hand on your waist, put it on where you want your waist to be. So people do inauthentic posing all the time because they see other people do it, and it just comes off as dead. So if you're going to do a pose, you have to just nail it and think of why you're doing that pose. I think that's a big thing for me with posing.
Or you can hire her and she just does all that thinking for you.
I work with a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs, since I'm a branding photographer. So I'm always asking them about their ideal client. I'm not asking them about their current clients. I'm asking them about their next level client. So I always say, like, picture in your head that if you could fill your calendar 2018 with this next level client, who is that person? And really think about that person, because I'm going to be talking about that person and saying, keep that person in mind when you're in front of the camera, so you can show up and have that presence. So there's a lot of me meeting with someone and taking a lot of notes about their ideal clients, like words that they would use to describe themselves if they're redoing their website or if they're working with a marketing person. A lot of times there's overlap there, so I just kind of reusing the process that they go through with their marketing. Like you're saying, the pre-production is it's so extensive. So by the time the client shows up, we've already done a ton of work on their behalf. And also getting yourself mentally ready, because if for some reason I'm talking with someone on the phone before a photo shoot and I'm agitated, or my mom says something that's upsetting, or who knows, or something's wrong with my car. So you need to get yourself completely aligned with, I need to show up with the right energy to be in a photo shoot too. And so I always say that to my subject, make sure you're putting on music that's serving you, and make sure you're clearing your headspace, because it happens.
Perry, fireworks,
yes.
drive in, you're like, I see the fireworks.
Totally, yeah. And some people, so it's a lot of physical and mental work prepping for a photo shoot.